Where is it?
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning. Yeah, you're live.
Good
I just
morning.
haven't showed your picture yet. Hi, Kyle. I'll pull you up.
Hello.
Hey, so good morning. Uh, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Today is Sunday. The what is it? The 22nd, the 23rd, and we have
Third, 23rd.
23rd. Thank you. We have Kyle from SuperThing here. SuperThing is the featured roaster this month. If you're a subscriber, you got this bad boy in the mail. And we'll be digging in deep as to what's going on with this coffee today. I know I've made a couple of brief introductions the past couple of weeks, but let me make sure that I can get Kyle's screen on here. That is not Kyle.
Hello.
Oh, there he is. Hey, what's going on, Kyle?
Hi. Not too much. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thanks for jumping on today. I've already started enjoying some of this coffee, but we're gonna
Yeah,
get brewing.
I'm there with you.
Oh. So as awkward as it is, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us your favorite candy.
Mm. Well, I mean that is I'm as a, longtime coffee professional, I think I've been in the habit of just like speed eating pastries in between rushes for
Mm-hmm.
several years. Um, so that's a complicated relationship. But yeah, I'm Kyle. I'm
No, no. Did we just cut out? I don't even know if I'm still live. It looks like that's going. It looks like we're ticking. So I'm just gonna stand here and dance with Kyle's frozen picture here. See if anything changes. I guess I gotta go fix it. See if I can fix anything. Please stand by. Oh, he's back. Okay. Hmm? Oh, oh, oh.
hello.
Technical
Does that work?
difficulty. I think you're back. I
Yeah.
think we're on again. I don't know what happened there. But
Yeah.
continue with
Just
your
froze up.
introduction.
Yeah, I don't know where it cut off, but yeah, I'm Kyle. I'm a roaster at SuperThing. Been in the Austin coffee scene for like 10 years or so, maybe more than that now.
Yeah, let's not count.
And yeah, we, yeah, and then for the last 3 years or so, we started SuperThing. I don't actually know if that number is accurate. I'm just roughly 3 years, somewhere between,
We've got a huge
you
gap
know,
in our timeline from the past year and a half.
it's
It just doesn't count.
it's very unclear. Do I even count the last year? Is that actually part of chronological time anymore?
Right.
I don't know. But yeah, that's sort of my background. And yeah, I'm here to brew some coffee with you, talk coffee.
Rock on. Okay, so the coffee that we have on the featured coffee right now is it's a
Yeah,
washed Peru, Soli
yeah,
Cafe. Tell us about it.
yeah. So one of our focuses this year that we're really like is we're trying to be ultra conscious of like seasonality and just trying to get like experimenting with coffee, like trying to get it as fresh as possible. And so we've been trying to purchase in a way that's a little bit more um, dynamic, which is fun because you get to experiment with a lot more coffees because usually we've been bringing them in for shorter periods of time, but we're also bringing them in as fresh as possible. So that kind of led like in the early spring or whatever is a somewhat drier time for coffee. There's a little bit like Ethiopias and Kenyas and Colombias and all the big hits of the coffee world usually come in later in the summer.
Yeah.
But that leads us to like in early spring, like Peru is one of the earlier harvests that come in, and like Rwanda and Burundi, cool places like that. So we've been trying to first focus on just getting fresh seasonal stuff, and then through that we found this space on it now. The Soli Cafe, which is they are a cooperative in Peru that does a lot of cool programs. They do like training with the farmers, can provide financing. They have like labs there that can like I think they like teach Q grading and several other things. Yeah, so they work with the farmers and like really kind of like help make the product better for both the farmers to get a better price on it, and then also it's good for us because then we get better coffee. So it's a cool cooperative that we were happy to partner with for this guy. And yeah, like Peruvian coffees, I've had a lot throughout the years that I've loved, but I feel like it's a little less represented than some other coffees. You don't see it quite as often as like a Colombia or something like that. And like a lot of them have a really cool like caramel green apple kind of thing that I love about it. And so yeah, we're excited to bring it on.
That particular note is very prevalent in this coffee that you guys are working with. Love it.
Yeah, I was tempted to like there's those like green and brown suckers that you would like get in the fall.
Yeah.
I wanted to put that as a tasting note, but I don't even know what they're called. So that was difficult.
Green and brown sucker.
You know what I'm talking like it'll just be like a 10-minute or 10 paragraph like remember those things when you were young and they melted in your car all the time.
Wait, so I have I actually didn't know this. I knew that there were like different regions have either like 1 or 2 harvesting cycles. And as you mentioned, like you were talking about the Peruvian, the Rwanda, and the Burundi, like I was thinking all of the roasters that I've been talking with recently, those are the 3 that they've named. They're like this is what I have right now. And I didn't even think about that. What are the from the sourcing side when you're sourcing super fresh? Like what are the cycles? Like what months offer which regions?
Yeah, it varies a little bit because there is always a pretty big delay between like a harvest and then it doesn't usually get stateside for a little while after that. So sometimes like a country will harvest like around the same time as another one, but it's usually not available in the US till later.
Logistics.
But yeah, just like logistically and but we're coming up on the golden time where like all the Ethiopias are coming in and Kenyas and so usually like summer is that time and Colombia's would normally be landing, although it's a little sparse this year with just what's going on in Colombia has delayed a lot of that. But yeah, we're coming up on a fun season for a lot of new coffees. But yeah, like we've been trying to like focus very seasonally, monthly, like focus on like, okay, what's coming in, what's going to taste fresh. Let's get it while it's like at its most dynamic. Not that it's, necessarily like not that there's a hard cutoff on when something will start tasting more aged, but it's just something we've wanted to focus on this year is like getting things as fresh as possible and as lively, get all like the water activity and everything. So.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
Catching all the flavor that comes from that moisture at the beginning. Yeah. Not that I saying words. Well, let's someday you're gonna have to teach me how to roast. I'll eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You want to brew though?
Yeah, let's brew some coffee.
All right, let's do it.
V60.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
That's what I have set up, but I can probably follow along with anything.
Yeah, it seems similar, right?
All right, V60.
All right, let me get my stuff together here.
So I think I mentioned this to you. I've taken over operations at this new cafe, and we put your coffee on display. And I mean, just as you step away and I see the background, all your 3 different packaging, it gets so many comments. Just people like, I love your design stuff. And
Thank you so much. Yeah.
it's also eye-catching, and it sparks conversations for me. I love it.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's good to hear, because I feel like there was a long time when we were like starting off and we were like, we were inspired by a lot of things and we wanted to do something strange, and then we were like coming around to it. It's like, is anyone gonna like respond to this as like a coffee, or is everyone gonna think like, what is this weird bag of nonsense? And so
You want to come make coffee with me, buddy?
that's
All right, come here. Kyle, I'm sorry, we have another guest on the show now.
hello. Hi. Morning.
What do you say, buddy? No, you don't slam. There you go. Don't slam the table where the mic is. That's gonna pull out big noises. But hey,
All right, I'm
okay,
gonna
see?
grind
Kyle
here.
do
It's
that.
gonna be loud for a moment.
Sounds good.
Did I roast that coffee? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Careful,
That's-
don't touch that. Don't touch that. What do you say when you say thank you, right? Say thanks for roasting this awesome coffee for us.
Thanks, Wilson.
My pleasure. Have you tried it?
He doesn't try it. His little brother does, which is
Oh, really?
fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Girl
but
getting caffeinated and amped up.
that's
Kids don't really drink coffee.
You gonna try a tiny sip? No? It's delicious.
I don't like it.
don't start down the dark path. Who
I know,
knows where
it's
it'll
dark.
take
Dark path to start down.
you. All right, so I'm doing 28 grams coffee.
I like this. This is for
Hey,
cleaning
hey,
cups.
you know how when you take classes, when you take your Chinese classes, right now, Kyle is going to teach us how to brew coffee. So we have to be extra quiet and listen to him, okay?
Okay.
All right. 28 grams?
I mean, I did 28 grams, yeah.
All right.
So, do you have 100 coffee for everybody in the world?
Not everybody in the world, but I'm working on it.
You're trying to make 100 coffee?
100 coffees would be great. I mean, why stop there? We could do 200.
Maybe 1,000.
Whoa. Now I like where you're headed.
All right. Are you going to help or are you going to just hang out?
Just hand.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Got my 28 grams.
Got your 28 grams. All right, cool. So, yeah, V60. This was my go-to for a long time. I briefly worked in a pour-over only bar where we didn't have drip machine, so
Ooh,
I made a lot of pour-overs
nice.
for a few years. Yeah,
Here,
which no one else knew, so they would come in and it's like, oh, I'll just take a coffee. Oh, that's actually the slowest
That's
item on the
perfect. That's all
menu.
we do. You said it used to be your go-to. Have you switched it up? What's your current go-to?
I mean, I like Chemex a lot. I do, that one's fun. I recently just got also like a auto maker, like the Bonavita.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I forget what it's actually called, but they're brewer, which is nice, and it's also good to just try coffee. Like I actually haven't had like a brewing machine in a decade or something, so it's good to like change it up that way too. But yeah, this is still one of my go-to tasting methods, just because I'm so familiar with it.
Classic.
Yeah.
Yep. Careful, buddy. Careful. There's coffee in there. We don't want to spill that.
Although I made a weird method over the years, so yeah. Anyway, I'll put it in. Usually get a fairly flat bed. Sometimes I'll do a little like dimple in the middle just to give my water a place to go.
All right.
And then I'll usually do a bloom about 3 times the dose weight.
Okay.
All right, so I'm doing that now.
Doing a bloom.
I'll do it fairly slow, just kind of let the coffee envelop itself more or less. And then I do a little bit of turbulence if you have something on hand. So I'll just take a little spoon and then just kind of gently move the grinds around just to kind of help get that saturation in there, get more water contact with the grounds. And then as we keep going here, usually I'll wait for like 40 seconds. I'll give it another 5 seconds or so.
Cool.
But then the idea is that hopefully that early turbulence, you'll see a little bit less like bubbles coming up throughout this main bloom here. And here I'm just going to pour to my total end weight of 448. Just kind of slowly keeping the bed pretty even. I'll look for like dark spots in the top and just try to get a kind of even flat bed, although it will like kind of slowly rise up. But ideally here, like when you see a lot of bubbles coming up later in the roast, you'll see some for sure, but that's usually like coffee coming into contact with water for the first time. So I'm trying to get a bit less later in the cycle, just to kind of get that saturation a bit more even.
Right, do that bloom to minimize.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, careful, buddy. I love you too, man. I've got a huge pot of hot water. You don't want to hug my arm.
Alright, my scale's getting a little wonky, but alright, and then when I get to my end weight, I've still got the bed kind of high, and I'll just, what I do is let's just like gently dislodge the grounds from the side of the filter.
Yeah.
Just kind of like run the spoon across the edge, not with any like force or anything. And then I just give it that little twirl. And the whole idea about this is that it like getting the grounds off the thing and then giving it the twirl, at the end of the bloom, you kind of have end of the brewing cycle, you kind of have this flat bed at the bottom. And so you're ideally extracting the coffee, more evenly throughout the whole process and getting a little bit more extraction.
Yeah.
This paper circle's for you.
And I haven't done the spoon method in a while. I've been having some success with kind of waiting for it to drain out and then just giving it a swirl.
Yeah.
Knock the sides down, like a very gentle swirl in between each phases of the pour. That was a new thing for me at the beginning of this year. But I've had some success with it.
Yeah, I've played around with it, and yeah, I've liked it as a general thing, and then like I think just giving you that kind of like end target of like, oh, I'm trying to get the bed kind of fat, like
right,
flat,
which is
and
totally opposite from when I started, where it was like, you want that cone shape, you want it to like, the nice form.
Right, and I think I was probably doing that for a long time, but yeah, then I just read some things about like, getting like this method, like your water and coffee are in contact for longer together, and then so there's less time where it's like, oh, this bit up on the ridge is stopped extracting, but this bit down here is extracting longer than anything.
Exactly.
So trying to
when it's broken down, it like makes
like
sense, and I feel like that's every single time some new theory comes up. Wait, I'm not a scientist for a reason.
Oh yeah,
I can never do things on my own, but it makes sense.
I think the coffee industry is like largely like people that weren't that good at chemistry, but now like have like all these like beakers and things around, and like, yes, I can tell but I don't know any. I mean, it tastes good to me, so that's as far as my science goes.
A couple weeks away from starting to mix my own water recipes, which I'm excited to play around with.
Really?
I've been using like third wave water for a while now, and I've been happy with that, and love their product, but also realize that you can just do your own. So I might do that. Get some speakers; they're on their way.
I'm gonna have to follow up with you and hear more about this.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because we've been doing the third wave water, and like our roasting space is separate, and so we'll either do third wave water or we'll go to Patica, our sort of sister cafe, and just steal a bunch of our water.
Have I been mispronouncing that my whole life?
Yes. I think at this point, the employees have been mispronouncing it.
Dude, hey, okay, buddy. You gotta go somewhere else. You can say hi one more time.
But
Say bye, Kyle.
hey,
All right.
bye.
I'm gonna send you to go watch TV, and then I'm gonna play with you soon. Okay? Okay, but you can't touch me. Hang out somewhere. Okay. Did you know that right now, Kyle and Baba, we're live, like live broadcasting. This is like.
You're live too.
All right. I'm gonna pour myself a cup. Are you sure you don't want to try some of this, Momo? Hey, this is what we were just talking about. You just found it. Check that out. Bam, bam.
Yeah. But
It's a third wave water. We mix it with water to make the mineral content of the water more amenable to extracting coffee,
That's
right?
what you were talking about.
yeah.
He knows.
And you were doing. That's what we're.
So yes, obviously this entire live stream has kind of gone off the rails here. But thank you. Thank you for brewing the coffee with us.
Yeah.
So the last time you and I talked, you were telling me about how you have a new consultant for the roasting process.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah. And that, I think,
What about
that also ties well into this coffee, because this is probably the first release that we like fully employed like his recommendations and his style on coffee.
Yeah.
But yeah, we initially when we first started getting into roasting, however many years ago, we did our SEA roasting classes and certifications with Ian Pico from Topeka Coffee in Tulsa. And while we were actually doing those classes with him, I think he had managed to secure the 2018 US Roaster Champ. I think that year is right. And then we did another round of like SEA classes with him. And then this year, just being in everyone's in their own like bubble and cave, and so much that's interesting about the coffee world is kind of getting like feedback and hearing like new coffee ideas from people, like sharing recipes like what you're doing on this thing. And so we were definitely like feeling the isolation of that. So we reached out to him to do just like a personal consultation. Like, I don't want the SCA certified like stuff. I want the personal approach to like roasting, and tell us what you would do differently and all that stuff. And he also has a full lab, so he can take like specific measurements and say, this is what the data points to. Here's what I'd recommend. You can approach it multiple ways. But here's like empirical data you can look to and make adjustments accordingly, which that stuff is expensive for most small roasters. So it's just having access to that is really great. But yeah, we've been working with him to kind of like get feedback on different coffees, get his like how he would approach it and what he would do. And then this project that we kind of fully took his advice and employed it in a coffee. Not the last one, but.
Well, I don't know if I could tell the difference. Like, you guys were awesome before, and this is awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't been drinking along with your progress, but if you're telling me that it's better, I trust.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it's. I mean, it's so subjective too. Like, but I think even just like I mean, I definitely am very glad we did it, and think that he is much smarter than us, and so happy to take his advice. But even just in like a general sense, like being able to kind of sanity check and like reach out to people and get feedback and advice is definitely something like I feel like we never intend to stop doing.
Good.
I think even if you like even if we like find something like, oh cool, I feel like we're really in the groove and like all the coffees are coming up we want. I feel like it's still good to like put them against something like, well, how would this person approach it? And let's check that against what we're doing and see if we still like what we're doing better. And so
I mean, for me personally, it's like
great
half
process.
the fun, you know? Like if that doesn't exist, then it's like, this isn't fun anymore. Why are we doing it?
Yeah, and like 2022, just being like more isolated. It's cool to have more of that interaction of like, let's get feedback on these things. Whereas, when we were in the cafe all the time, you get a little bit from customers,
Right.
maybe a little less scientifically based, but that was also a really nice thing to have happen. So
Cool. Awesome. And so are you going to continue working with him? I kind of missed part of that conversation, but I assume you said that.
oh yeah. Yeah, we've been doing kind of like a slow consultation, and we still have some more meetings planned with him, and he's given us like a lot of good advice, and even just like hacks for the roaster, like drill into the metal and install this gadget, and we'll help you monitor this. So yeah, he's given us all sorts of tips to work on. Yeah.
Well, I will always be your free subjective consultant. I'll just brew something and just
that is
positive feedback, always confirmation bias.
Yeah, perfect.
This is great.
I need constant validation, so that's an essential role.
Good. But be careful. Yeah. One day I'll just pull it out from under you and be like, no.
Here's my notes.
No, seriously, you guys do amazing work. Absolutely love it.
Well, yeah. Thank you so much for what you do. It's great to be a part of the Tezpresso program.
I'm just having fun making coffee. Speaking of
I need to check out your cafe too.
Yeah, you should drop by. Give it another month or so. We haven't publicly announced it on like social media or anything. No, I've publicly told people. That's fine.
Okay.
But obviously, because we're taking over operations, we're still in the midst of like, hey, let's fix this. Let's get a new espresso machine in. Wait a second. We still have what is this Starbucks sign doing here? Why was this ever? We gotta fix all that. So, when it's all done, when it's all said and done, I would love for you to drop by.
Yeah, I will.
But for SUPERTHING, what can my subscribers do to further support you?
Yeah. I mean, every time we're a Tezpresso feature, get a lot of bags. And then also we're online. We're at superthingcoffee.com. We have like a roaster subscription if you want. We'll just rotate through our single origins and some blends that we have, and you'll get new stuff fairly often, and try new coffees every month.
You guys have some of the best swag. Like your stickers or your sticker game's on point.
Thank you. Yeah, we have a lot of fun with the design stuff. So it's fun for us. It's a lot of times it's like, should we buy like a bunch of mugs with the weird monster hand on it? I mean, I want one, so sure.
Yes, the answer.
And then,
I didn't even. Can you show that mug off? I want to see more of it.
Yeah. And so we got our little monster hand, and then you can also get these at superthingcoffee.com.
Okay.
We got some new T-shirts actually coming out like this week or so. So.
Ooh. Okay. I'll keep an eye out for those. I'm probably gonna grab one of those mugs. So.
They're good. I'm happy with the mug.
Nice.
It
Very nice.
Works. It's functional as well.
All right, Joe. Well, thanks again for. Actually, is there anything else that you would like to say? Anything else that we didn't touch on today?
I'm sure there's a lot of things that I should say, but as far as I know, I think we covered it. So I feel good. I feel good. I've got coffee.
Mo, do you want to come say bye to Kyle Shushu? Yeah. All right.
Bye, Kyle Shushu.
Bye. Thanks for brewing coffee with us.
Well, yeah, seriously, thanks for joining. Thanks for doing the dance, and keep doing what you're doing. I look forward to trying more coffee.
Pleasure.
And getting more of your coffee into my subscribers' hands.
I'm just gonna keep sending it to you. So now you're stuck.
I guess so. All right, I'll talk to you later, Kyle.
All right, good seeing you.